Representative Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In a telephone call last Wednesday morning, I listened as Cynthia Ryder, Executive Director of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, shared disturbing news. The day before, OSF had received a cancellation from a school that had planned to bring 2 busloads of kids from Canada to Ashland to attend the festival. Instead, the president's newly announced travel policies forced a change of plans. Fearing that 1 or more students might be detained at the Canadian border, the school was forced to return the tickets and forego the trip. For OSF, this was a loss of $8,500 in tickets, but add in the community businesses that lost lodging, food, and miscellaneous purchases, and the hit is much bigger. Now, 2 busloads of kids won't make or break our tourist economy, but the story is an ominous harbinger of the real economic impacts that Oregon businesses will experience if these restrictions stay in place. Affected industries will span the business sector: tourism, which hosts 1 out of every 8 jobs; arts and culture organizations that depend on open borders and the free flow of ideas; the university system, where international students contribute to academic pursuits and bring needed tuition dollars to an underfunded system; and high tech, a sector that has always cultivated an international workforce and that is dependent on diversity and inclusion. Now, I know that many of us are grateful to Judge James Robart, who suspended the administration's executive order, and to the Federal Court of Appeals that sustained that decision. But we clearly have a president who is bound and determined to pursue a policy of exclusion, regardless of the lack of nexus between his actions and the intended outcomes. We know these policies will cause irreparable harm to individuals and families because we've already heard the stories of those impacted. Families struggling to reunify, parents desperate to obtain life-saving surgery for an infant, refugees turned away at our borders. And we know these policies will have a real, tangible impact on the financial health of our communities, measured in tickets not sold, students turned away, and employees lost. In the coming days and weeks, as citizens and legislators, we must be ready to resist an administration that is pursuing xenophobic strategies that will inevitably threaten families, stratify communities, and undermine our businesses. Standing up in unity is really the only choice we have to maintain the Oregon we know and love. Thank you.